This is a $120,000 annual salary. After taxes and pension, you're getting about $83,000 a year, which is about $6,970. Now you have mortgages and bills, and that is $6,600. And that leaves you with $370 left. How does someone making six figures still feel broke? Today, I'm breaking down why working harder or getting a second job isn't the solution. It's actually a habit problem. And I'm going to show you how to use the stock market so that you can make extra money without sacrificing your future. If you feel like you're drowning in a high paying job, this is for you. You're making 120, but you're coming home every month with 370. That's just roughly over $3,000 that you can do whatever you want. And what most people do when they get this is they want to feel good about themselves. So they'll buy clothes, shoes, maybe go out to dinner. A whole bunch of different things come to mind with what's left over. But this is never a good feeling. Knowing you're making this and you're ending up with this, and a lot of it comes from your mortgage that's eating up a lot of your costs because you're paying interest plus the principal on where you want to live, right? But there's ways around this where you don't have to feel like all is lost because the majority of your money is going towards your bills and the mortgage. And I thought of something where it's also happened to me where I didn't feel good. And the first thing that I started to do was always pay myself. So what that is, or always pay myself first. So what I would do is I would take some of my money out before covering any of my bills and putting it towards something meaningful to myself. And what I did was I used the stock market because the stock market is giving you the ability to buy companies that are publicly traded around the world. And when they make money, you get to make money. Mind you, you have to pick the right companies. But just for argument's sake, you give them money, they give you money back in return. And how you can depict this is, all right, you have $370 left over. So what do you do with that? And I was reading Atomic Habits, and he talked about something, James Clear, he talked about something where you need to start picking up good habits. So you have your good habits here. And then you have your bad habits down here. Now, after you see what you're making, you don't feel good about yourself. So what you do is you get something right away. So you get the immediate good feeling. So immediate reward. So we'll say reward now. But then it has a long-term effect of bad outcome. Oh, that's what I should put. Bad outcome. Whereas if you do the good habit, you're not going to get the immediate reward. It's delayed. Good outcome. Now, the disconnect here is bad habit, you get the reward now, but bad outcome later. Good habit, delayed, but you get the good outcome later. So how do you use the stock market now so that you can feel good about yourself instead of waiting 5, 10, 15, 20 years to reap the benefits of investing in the stock market? What you got to do is you got to have something where you can get the immediate reward outcome, a bit of the outcome now, and feel a bit of this now instead of later. So you got to take the future and bring it to the present. And how you can do that is in the stock market, but there's a special way that you can do this in the stock market, and it's called stock options. And what stock options are is the right to reserve a stock price at a future date. And you can make money off of that because when you own the rights to buy companies at a future date, you don't have to buy those companies. You're just holding that price. And when you hold that price, you can make money off of it. And what you do is when you're buying these stock options and you make money off of it, instead of holding that stock and waiting till it appreciates, say you buy it for $10 and you're waiting for it to go to $100, not necessarily waiting on that price, but you get what I mean, right? With stock options, you're just saying if it gets to this price or higher, this is the price that I'm willing to pay. But because the price that you're reserving, if it gets to that price or above that, you start to make money. So what you could do is you buy the stock options, and the outcome, let's say you make some money off of it, you would take some of that money and you would pay yourself. So let's say it's like 10%. So let's say you make $1,000 in the market. So you make $1,000 in the market, and of that you take 10%, and that leaves you with $100. $100 that could pay your phone bill. Every month you do this, your phone bill's paid. Now you have an extra $100 that's not going towards bills. And if you keep growing this account over time, you'll make enough money where it covers all your bills, but it does take some time. And with the bad habit, let's say you are buying, let's say you buy ice cream every week, a big tub of ice cream, and you box it off on the weekend. The bad outcome of that is you're going to put on weight, and yeah, we'll just stick with that. You're going to put on weight. So what you would say to yourself is, if I eat this ice cream today, what's the long-term effect that's going to have? And when you start thinking in terms of the long-term effects it's going to have, you're going to say to yourself, yeah, no ice cream. We're not going to do that. We're just going to focus on taking the ice cream money and putting it towards here. So whenever you're treating yourself, you know what you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to put it towards here because I'm going to delay that bad habit for a better outcome, where I don't have to pay my phone bill anymore. Imagine having a free cell phone where you never have to pay that ever again because you invested it in the stock market. Now, stock options is not something that you'll understand overnight, but if you put some time and effort into it, it could be rewarding for you. And if you're interested in learning how to use the stock market and stock options to help increase your net worth and also give you some cash flow, I left a link down below where you can watch a short video and we take it from there. So that's kind of what I want to just show you guys, how to use a stock, or what you need to do in terms of increasing how much money you're making. But it starts with your habits. It doesn't start with making more money. Most people will go out there and get another job. Say, damn, I'm not making enough. I'm going to get another job. So 120 is like in the higher tax brackets. So we'll stick with, you still have the 120K salary, but now you decide to get a part-time job or a side hustle and you're making about 30,000 a year. Now you're at 150,000. And guess what? If you're reporting this income, now that income just puts you in either higher tax bracket, or you're paying based off of that. And based off of the last example I gave you, it's about 30% that you're paying in taxes. So 30% of this is about $3,000 if I'm not mistaken, or I could be wrong. Nope, $9,000. So of that, you're paying $9,000. So essentially, you're making about $27,000 from that part-time job or side hustle, whatever you're doing. You got to think of ways where you're not using your time to make more money. Let your money make more money for you so that you can have the freedom of your time. What would you do with an extra 5 to 10 hours a week? I would be spending more time with my kids, throwing them in extracurricular activities. I would be building Lego. There's so many different things that I would be doing if I had an extra 5 to 10 hours a week. Imagine what you would be doing with an extra 5 to 10 hours a week. And this is what I show people, how to use the stock market to buy back the freedom of their time. You start off small, but every time you compound that small step, you're getting closer and closer to having that freedom that you ultimately desire. Now, 5 to 10 hours a week is amazing, but now imagine that 5 to 10 hours a week transferred into having a whole month to yourself. Some people go crazy. Me, I'd be traveling, I'd be doing the most, but it definitely would not be putting my time into another job. So ask yourself that question. What would I do if I had an extra 5 to 10 hours a week of free time? And it starts by changing your habits. Your habits. You have to work on you before working on the external market. Because once you can change your identity, everything starts to show up for you. So if you wanted to run a marathon, you don't say I'm going to run a marathon. You say I'm going to jog every day, or I'm going to run every day. That's the identity when it comes to investing. You don't say I want to make money in the stock market. You say I'm a stock market investor. And what are the behaviors that someone that invests in the stock market does? If you look at what the rich people did or do, what they do is they take some of their income and they put it into the stock market. or they have a lump sum of money and they throw into a stock market. Like for example, let's say you're one of the few that do get a tax return, even though you make this type of salary. Throw that money into, well, let's say you had $1,000. Let's say you got an extra $1,000. The first thing you should do with that is invest in yourself. Education is so key, and I don't necessarily mean with me, but just in general. It doesn't have to be, it could be a book, it could be YouTube University, you can pay for mentorship. There's so many different things that you could do. But the first thing you need to do with $1,000, invest in education. Because once you have that education and you learn the skill of investing, nobody can take that away from you. The return on that is infinite. So before even buying a stock, invest in your education, because that's the smartest decision that you can make. Now, let's say, now this is from your tax return. You get, say, I kind of screwed this up, but let's say you got $2,000. $1,000 went to education. Now you have $1,000 to put into the market. And this is what will start you on the path of making additional money. Because you got the education, you know how to execute on this $1,000. But you need to have rules set in place. Now, once you have the rules set in place, that's you adopting the new identity of who you're becoming. Because some people just take this money and be like, oh, what company should I buy? What stocks do I buy? This went down yesterday, or this went up. Oh, I need to buy because everyone's buying. Wrong approach. Figure out the rules you need to set in place for yourself, where you don't have to rely on your emotions. You're not listening to news. You're using your own analysis to say, where am I putting this first $1,000? And once you understand that, now you can move forward. So for me, what I did is I take this, I put it into the stock market and stock options. So what I do is I make the money in stock options. 10% of that comes to me when I make money. Then 90%, you know what I do with this? I don't take money out the market to go and spend on nonsense. I take 90% and I put it back into the market. And the reason why I put it back into market is because now I want to own those companies. Here's just reserving the right to a price to buy that company at a future date. But I want to actually own the company, because once I own the company and they're actually a good company, their price goes up. If they pay dividends, which is a portion of the profits that they make that they share with shareholders, then that's something that is good for me. So then now my value of the stock is going up and they're paying me dividends every month. That's a good thing, because now when I actually do need money, guess what I get to do? So this is the stock here. Now, let's say I needed a lump sum of money, I want to buy a new car. Because I got this stock portfolio I built up, I can go to the bank and say, Mr. Banker, I don't know why I wrote Mr. Bank, but can I get a loan for the stocks, against the stocks that I have? The bank's gonna say, sure. You know why? Because if you default, they can take your stocks, and they like that stuff. When you have something of value and you wanna borrow money, banks love that. But when you have nothing of value and you wanna borrow money, they don't really like that much. So I can borrow against my stocks and use that money to do whatever I want. The great thing is I get to keep this. So it's still making money. It's still going up in value. Yes, I have a loan here, but if you're making more in the stocks than your loan, what you're paying in your loan, you're still winning. So that's a win for you. And now let's say it's not a car you buy. Let's say it's a rental property you buy. That rental property can pretty much pay for itself, because it's making you, well, it should be cash flow positive. It's making more than what you're paying in interest. Now, I know that's a fully loaded video, but if there's anything that stood out to you in this video, make sure to leave it in the comments. And if you are finding value in this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. My name is Dean the Wealth Coach, your go-to guy for building wealth, and I'll see you on the next video.